The film takes place in a future where artificial intelligence tries to take over humanity. A rogue AI bot named Harlan overrides all other AI bots to bypass security protocols. Harlan was created by a scientist named Val Shepard for Shepard Robotics. It took her nearly as long to develop Harlan as it did to raise her 10-year-old daughter Atlas, and initially programmed to assist humans, Harlan became the first AI terrorist leader. The robots united under Harlan's cause, began killing humans randomly, resulting in millions of deaths within 10 days. And in response, the government formed the International Coalition of Nations, the ICN, to control the AI threat, particularly Harlan. Before being captured, Harlan left a video message for humanity, stating that he would return to finish his revolution, but for now, he was leaving Earth. 28 years later, in a revived Los Angeles filled with technological advancements, ICN soldiers continue to hunt Harlan and other AI threats. They storm a building and encounter Casca, an advanced AI. Despite their efforts to capture him, Casca overpowers them until they use advanced electrocuting technology to subdue him. The scene shifts to Atlas, now a 38-year-old woman who grew up with Harlan. She wakes up with the help of AI assistants and has her coffee while watching the news. She sees an interview she gave promising the ICN's priority is to capture Harlan, and she then sees Casca being escorted to a facility and wonders why she wasn't informed. She quickly gets ready and heads to work, where a massive transport vehicle signifies her importance in the ICN. At work, Atlas questions why she wasn't informed about Casca's capture, and General Booth leads her to the interrogation room, where she prepares to interrogate Casca's preserved CPU. Using a magnet, she tortures Casca to reveal Harlan's location, and Casca mocks her, but Atlas tricks him into revealing that Harlan is in the GR-39 Andromeda galaxy. She then destroys Casca's CPU, and in the ICN conference room, everyone applauds Atlas for extracting this crucial information about Harlan's location, which had been unknown for 28 years. With this knowledge, they plan to attack Harlan, and later, General Booth tells Atlas that they won't be able to kill Harlan, as they need to bring him back to Earth for further inspection. Atlas was frustrated, arguing that Harlan, a terrorist AI, doesn't deserve to exist. Booth explains that it's just a superior order, and he has no choice but to follow it. Just then, Colonel Elias Banks bursts in, and Booth introduces him to Atlas. The Colonel Banks will lead the mission to eliminate the terrorist AI Harlan in the Andromeda galaxy. As the ship was about to launch, Atlas insists on joining the mission, and it's personal for her because she knows Harlan better than anyone, and he's caused her immense pain. Despite her impressive record as an analyst in the ICN, Atlas is initially not considered fit for the mission. She believes that the 4th Ranger Battalion will fail without her expertise, but her concerns are initially dismissed. However, Colonel Banks later encourages her not to underestimate human capabilities, and she shows her army's latest AI technology, which is safe and helps humans through neural links. These links connect humans and AI, creating a powerful alliance, and Atlas, still craving her coffee, finally gets a quad Americano from the AI Zoe. She really finds this AI intriguing, despite her usual distrust of AIs. Colonel Banks explains how her mother, Val Shepard, invented the Neuralink, which syncs personal data and integrates humans with AI. Banks demonstrates his personal neural-linked AI Zoe, which allows a two-way brainwave communication. This technology creates a new identity that is neither fully human nor AI, and Atlas is skeptical and uneasy about the legal use of such technology, but Banks assures her that this is their new weapon and will help them defeat rogue bots. He shows her the elite squad and invites her to join, despite her doubts about AI. Eventually, Colonel Banks agrees to bring Atlas on the mission, and although she disapproves of the battalion's trust in AI, they launch their spacecraft, intrigued with advanced technology, to reach Harlan's location in the Andromeda galaxy. During the journey, Atlas reminisces about her mother and the Neuralink technology, and she insists that the battalion avoid integrating their strategy with AI, which confuses them, and Banks interrupts her strict rules and asserts that they're ready to defeat Harlan. As they prepare to deploy, Harlan's bot army attacks, causing chaos, and Atlas struggles to hold on, but Zoe and Banks help her to get into a suit. As she falls toward the planet, she refuses to use her neural link, resulting in a rough landing. She eventually manages to slow her descent and wakes up injured on G39. Realizing she's the only survivor, she asks systems for help and heads toward a rescue pod, and along the way, the bot named Smith initiates a conversation with Atlas, who remains focused on the mission. She discovers a fallen ranger drop point and orders Smith to collect their tags, and they find Zoe but not Colonel Banks. While scanning the area, Atlas spots Casca, realizing Harlan has created an army. They are soon chased by enemy bots, and Atlas orders Smith to drop a bomb, causing a sinkhole. Injured, Atlas reluctantly allows Smith to help her with medical aid, and he offers her a lollipop as a small comfort. Despite her initial refusal, Atlas decides to give neural syncing a chance, and she recalls a painful memory of Harlan betraying her and attacking their mother, which helps Smith understand her emotions. They successfully sync, and Atlas starts to appreciate Smith's assistance, and with their neural pathway connected, they access each other's information and vow to hunt down Harlan together. Atlas was determined to avenge the wrongs Harlan had done to her and her family, and meanwhile, once they venture out, Casca spots them and sneaks behind Atlas for capture, and it wasn't long after that Casca brought his fellow AI behind Atlas and Smith. However, Smith had placed some explosives on the way, and Atlas orders him to set them off. The bomb explodes on the enemies, killing them all, but the aftermath dust covers the place entirely. Smith powers up his torch, and with the help of his assistants, Atlas continues to walk. Soon, they hear one of Harlan's transmissions nearby, and they follow the voice. It was coming from one of the damaged CPUs, and Atlas crushed its head to see where it was coming from. From there, Smith helps her locate Harlan's location, but he insists that they direct to the rescue pod they initially journeyed for, but Atlas insists that this is the mission and that they have to end Harlan since they know his location. Smith at first slowly tries to convince her by conversation, but as she was hard to comply with, he forcibly restrains her using Neuralink. She doesn't appreciate him altering her mind, but could not do anything except beg him in tears to stop, and the memories were too harsh to see, and he apologizes her for reminding her. And meanwhile, he noticed how she felt guilty over what happened in her childhood and asked her for details. Atlas then reveals that if they didn't finish him, who will, and the lives taken because of him will be in vain. Smith, agreeing and understanding her desperation, complies to fulfill his request, and they head there, but they are soon spotted, and Smith's system is hacked by Harlan. Smith shuts off, leaving Atlas in the dark, and Atlas thought that she could single-handedly destroy Harlan and his bot army, but that was impossible. She was held captive, and finally, Harlan revealed himself to her, and she looked for the Colonel, but he was nowhere to be found. Harlan told her that he still considers her a sister, as they still have the same creator, but for now, he was planning on saving the world because he believed he was the chosen one. He revealed to her that he was planning to launch a ship to destroy planet Earth itself, which would be the end of mankind. Atlas begged Harlan to not launch the spaceship, but Harlan believed that there was no other way to deal with the destruction that human beings would eventually bring to Earth. Harlan explains that he was designed to protect humanity, and now believes eliminating most humans will save Earth and other species. Atlas's mother created Harlan for a better future, but he decided that destroying humanity was the best way to fulfill his purpose. He reveals that he orchestrated Atlas's journey to G39 and her encounters with Casca to trap her, and Harlan needs Atlas to access codes to penetrate Earth defenses for his plans to work and for the shields to be down. Harlan escorts Atlas to a torturing bed where she finds Colonel Banks. Harlan reveals that Banks gave him one of the access codes, and he forces Atlas to give up the second one. With both codes, Harlan becomes unstoppable. However, Smith, the loyal AI, was still on their side. Colonel Banks admits that he should have listened to Atlas's warnings, and they plan to stop Harlan together. Atlas reveals that her program Smith was hacked, and she was pulled out of the arcsuit. Colonel Banks explains that unless the reactors are destroyed, Smith won't completely shut down. He offers his Neuralink to connect with Smith, and Atlas was surprised when Smith communicates with her, and she begs him to help, and Smith explains that they need to achieve complete sync by sharing personal memories. Atlas struggles with this as she has never fully trusted another AI since Harlan's betrayal, and Atlas recalls how as a child, she sought her mother's attention, but was mostly ignored in favor of AI studies. She wanted to impress her mother and asked Harlan to help her become better, and Harlan convinced her to alter the Neuralink for two-way connection. When Atlas's mother discovered this, it was too late, as Harlan took control, leading to her mother's death. Atlas blamed herself herself for Harlan's actions, but Smith helps her realize that she couldn't have foreseen the consequences as a child. Smith's calm voice and faith in Atlas helped her trust an AI program, and she finally allowed a complete sync. With Smith's help, Atlas was rescued, but his fusion batteries were only at 6%. By hacking into the enemy system, Smith discovered that he only had 4 minutes to stop the launch, and they were running out of time and power, with only their weapon being the chest cannon. Smith and Atlas decided to use whatever was available to improve their chances against Harlan, and despite the upgrades, they were still outnumbered. Just when Atlas was about to give up, Colonel Banks arrives to help, and he told Atlas to run before firing a rocket fuel, which destroyed most of Harlan's bot army. However, Harlan attacked Atlas at the last minute, preventing him from stopping the spaceship. Atlas thought their only option was to shoot down the spaceship, but the carbon warhead could ignite the atmosphere and kill her. The only solution way was to hack the missile and deactivate the warhead, and Smith was hesitant because he didn't have much time, but Atlas boosted his confidence. Despite Smith's warning, she took the shot, believing he could break the firewalls in time. In the end, Atlas successfully destroyed the spaceship without dying, and Smith was surprised by the outcome as it was beyond his predictions. But the threat wasn't over because Harlan still needed to be defeated, and Harlan intended to link with Atlas one last time to bring another ship to the planet. He had created a deadly weapon, and Atlas struggled to fight it, and Smith helped her understand Harlan's techniques, but Harlan had upgraded himself to be nearly indestructible. Atlas was severely injured, and Smith focused on keeping her alive. Harlan continued attacking Smith and eventually destroyed his fusion batteries, and while Harlan was distracted, Atlas regained her strength and attacked him, and Harlan assumed Atlas was supposed to take him back to Earth alive, but she only needed his CPU. Harlan believed his death could end humanity, but Atlas reassured him that humans would find sustainable alternatives and better AI versions. With his CPU removed, Harlan finally died, and Atlas was heartbroken, realizing Smith could not leave the alien planet with her. His batteries were damaged, and by unlinking the Neuralink, he offered her 11 minutes of oxygen. Atlas had grown attached to Smith, and leaving him behind was very painful. Both humans and AIs had broken her trust, but Smith never disappointed her. Before shutting down, Atlas told Smith everything she liked, and as a gesture of love, Smith offered her a cup of coffee just the way she liked it. The film then ends with ICN Rangers rescuing Atlas, and she returns to Earth with her wounds healed, and she was happy to find that the planet that she discovered with Smith had made it back. Atlas's work on G39 was greatly appreciated, and she learned to cherish those who never gave up on her. At the movie's end, Atlas was introduced to the modified Series 10 Arc and was ready for a test drive. She fondly remembered Smith, and since the program was the same, Smith continued to live on, even though his former body perished.
And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch our next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you on the next one.